The time is 3:25 a.m. and we're heading towards the security check area here at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And we arrived in Orlando about 8 hours ago from California, so it feels more like 12:25 a.m. As you can imagine, we didn't get much sleep last night, but it doesn't matter because with all the excitement, we're wide awake. We're approaching the main entrance and the crowds continue to come. They're just about to let us in. It's 3:40 a.m. Disney is handing out a special map for the opening of Galaxy's Edge. This is really cool. Very similar to what they did at Disneyland.
First guests traveling to Black Spire Outpost for the enjoyment and safety of our guests, and so that as many guests as possible can experience Batuu, our cast will begin to guide you further into the park for your adventure in a galaxy far, far away. Thank you. Disney's Hollywood Studios.
We are on the move. We were led to one of the entrances to Galaxy's Edge, where we'll wait again until they're ready to let us in. The park was scheduled to open at 6 a.m. However, with the amount of people that have showed up, they're planning to let the guests in early. The time right now is approximately 4:40 a.m. The crowd behind us goes beyond what we can see. Alright, this is it. We're on our way to Batuu. You can definitely feel the excitement in the air. And just like at Disneyland, Imagineers that worked on Galaxy's Edge are lining the pathway to greet us as we enter. And here's an early morning look of some of the spires of the planet. As we move along the path, Chewie and Rey are greeting us as well. And I gotta say, the opening here in Florida has a different feel to it than that of the opening of Galaxy's Edge in California. Not only because we're entering Batuu before the sun's rise, but the amount of people seems to be more as well. And this is probably due to the fact that Disneyland opened with reservations only for the first few weeks, limiting the amount of people who could enter Batuu on each day. Straight ahead is the tallest spire in the outpost. That is a beautiful sight. And here's a couple stormtroopers on patrol. We're passing the droid depot. In front, there's an R1, BU-4D, R4, R5, and a power droid. The TIE Echelon is an impressive sight. I love how it's lit up. We're getting close to the Millennium Falcon. And speaking of the Millennium Falcon, there she is. We actually decided to go in the single rider line. The single rider line splits into two lines. And no one realized this as it turns back on itself and it's counterintuitive. So everyone was waiting for the single rider line in the stairwell to the right, which was a long line. We went to the left and we went right to the front of the line. So we really lucked out.
Oh, great, thanks. All right, my friend, you're part of the red credentials.
And this is one of my favorite parts, walking down the hallways and rooms of the Millennium Falcon. There are a few porg nests located here, just like we saw at Disneyland. However, there are porg feathers, which was not visible on opening day at Disneyland. There are two primary entrance paths to the cockpit. Down this corridor is one way, and the other entrance path is down the hallway past the desert table, as seen here. However, guests with service animals and other guests that require special accommodations enter through a special area before boarding the cockpit, and it's to our right. Someone in my group has a service dog, so I got the opportunity to see the third boarding area. And it's really cool. There's a extended Hondo video shown here.
Today's flight takes you to the planet Corellia. You will be intercepting a first-order trade shipment of coaxium. Gunners, you clear the path. Pilots, line up behind the train. And engineers, you harpoon that precious cargo. Now, despite what you may have heard, my friends, when you work for Onaka Transport Solutions, there is no need to worry. Everything is precise, professional, and... What do you mean, system failure? Oh, that's what you mean by system failure. Of course, I repaired the power couplers. I mean, not personally, but I had someone repair them. I think I had someone repair the power couplers. Never mind that. R5, access the emergency power supply. Offline. What good is an emergency power supply if it's not ready in an emergency? This is unacceptable. I have a ship ready, a crew waiting, and nobody is making me any money. Does anyone have a lantern, a lightsaber, a little... this is ridiculous. Follow the crew member and we'll get this fixed right away, my friends. Go.
Alright, come right on in, flight crew. Pilots, gunners, and engineers, have a seat passenger straight so you can stow cargo beside you right.
Great job, my friends. You retrieved 2 This would greatly help the resistance. You have heard the First Order and made Chewie proud. Now, after my modest profit, your cut minus what you owe me for damaging the Falcon is, hey, not bad.
As we're exiting, we have a view of a Rathtar frozen in carbonite. The wait time for Smuggler's Run is now 300 plus minutes. This is really amazing. The entire queue of the attraction is full, and the line extends out and wraps around the entire perimeter of Galaxy's Edge, all the way to the far entrance to the land, the one that we originally entered coming into Galaxy's Edge. Here's a map of the land. It makes it easier to visualize the extended line. The line extends out of the attraction and wraps all the way to here. Alright, it's time to have some of the blue and green milk.
Would you like straws? No, I think we're good.
And it's interesting, the milk stand in Disney World, they serve milk with alcohol. Blue milk with rum and green milk with tequila. At Disneyland, you can only get alcoholic beverages in the cantina.
Doesn't it?
It's very refreshing. I'd rather wear it. It's so hot and muggy.
We'll go ahead and walk around a little more to explore more of the land. We'll go into Ronto Roasters. It's very congested, very hard to move around. A lot of people, wow. As you can see, a pod racer engine is cooking the food. Next, we'll go ahead and check out the marketplace.
Folks, if you're going to the marketplace, you're going to go down and around. We're trying to do one-way traffic.
We'll enter the marketplace from this entrance. Over here, they're selling Kowakian monkey lizards.
So this is a Kowakian monkey lizard. They're reptile mammals, indigenous of the planet Kowak. They're energetic, they love the attention, and can be a bit mischievous, but once you do bond, they are friends for life. Just gotta be a little bit careful with what kind of food you leave out, because on their home planet, they're used to catching like insects, small rodents, and even reptiles. Little things like this, they'll catch them up in a second. Like this fellow here used to have trouble getting into Cot Second Strain. Got me into a lot of problems. Almost broke her loose on the Falcon too once. I have enough problems with Hondo and some of the times I've crashed his ship, but...
Now we'll visit the creature stall, which is an exotic shop filled with creatures looking for a home. A loth cat can be found in a cage. And a loth cat is a temperamental creature, and while at times friendly, are still able hunters with sharp teeth and claws. Their home world is Lothal. Alright, the suns are coming up. For the most part, we found the Galaxy's Edge from both parks to be very similar. The spires seem to be a little darker in color at Disney World, and maybe more vegetation at Disney World as well. Here's a Resistance turret, which will be the entrance to the Rise of the Resistance attraction.
The Resistance is setting up a base camp back here, but it's not quite ready yet. I heard it'll be ready December 5th.
There's the A-Wing, and the X-Wing is across the pathway, which is different from Disneyland, where the two ships are on the same side. This X-Wing needs some repair. If you look closely throughout the land, tracks can be found from various creatures and droids. Alright, we found Vi. She's trying to recruit people to join the Resistance. There's one spire in particular that the Black Spire Outpost was named after, and this is it. As I mentioned before, the spires at Disney World, for the most part, seem to have darker highlights. However, this one in particular is lighter. I'll go ahead and dissolve the picture to what the spire looks like in Disneyland. And the main difference between the two spires in this case, Disneyland's spire has more crevice detail work, and Disney World's has more vegetation. Now I'll dissolve the picture back to the spire at Disney World. I love the theming of the Galaxy's Edge Coke stand, especially with the R5 unit in front. That is really cool. I'm glad Disney has set up water stations throughout Galaxy's Edge. Also, Disney has set up fans throughout the land as well. And early in the morning, Mary found one. The trash cans are cool looking, they remind me of droids. Here Ray is checking out some of the land speeders. Alright, we're back near the outside of the marketplace. As mentioned before, there are some detail and paint differences between Disneyland's and Disney World's Galaxy's Edge. The walls here at Disney World seem to be more rust-colored than the gray-brown that is found in Disneyland. Also, Disney World's version doesn't seem to have as much aged detail that can be found at Disneyland. A good example is if you look near the top of the building, the wall looks pretty good at Disney World. I'll dissolve the picture to Disneyland's version to see the difference. Not just in this location, but if you look all over the buildings, you will find quite a bit of age detail. There's quite a bit at Disney World as well, but not as much. And I also love the stone archway. It looks really nice. Next we'll go close to the tie echelon to see what we can find.
flies the Millennium Falcon. Is he here?
I mean, I saw him a couple hours ago, like way out by the front. So.
Apologies, sir. They are less helpful than you implied, Trooper. We're sorry, sir. They are not the ones who have failed here. Your time is up. Go. You may go.
Thank you.
Move aside. Your presence is requested. Right here. The First Order may require your service. Are you prepared to join? Good. And you will not betray us. I thought not. Now move. Have a good day. Stay back.
Alright, since lines are so long, end-of-line signs can be found at various locations. This one is for the Droid Depot. And this one is for Doc Ondar, and it stretches all the way to the marketplace. And Smuggler's Run, which is a 300-minute wait still. We notice an NBC helicopter capturing some footage. And here's one of their postings. Alright, here's Rey with a Padawan learner. Well, that was our time on opening day, and we had a great time, and can't wait to come back again. May the Force be with you always.